Hello and welcome. Today's date is that of 9th day of July 2018. My name's Derek. This is the Money Charts channel and the Crypto Day Morning. All investment choices always within your own risk, own reward. For myself, risk reward management, always job number one. And Gigabyte DGB is having another decent good up day. And the more and more we look at this, there is no resistance around the 5-quarter level. It has had a move of greater than 125 points from that point. So there's an additional 20%. And now it's at an area as how far can this go? It's now just approaching, it's at a 76.4% Fibonacci from the low and the high. This level at 525 was a 61.8. And then we have all of these previous highs up to 875. And we look at this on a 3-day chart. We just look a little bit at this versus where we stand now. This first big green period on May the 16th, low 114, high 463. Followed up with a high up to 972. So in less than a 6-day span, this market had made a move from 114 to that level. 114 is a mile below here, or several, and it's a long ways to go to have a small pierce above this resistance high. So as big as this move is, yes, buyers are in control, but it is nowhere near as large as the volatility it has seen before. So to say that this is at a major climax of volatility, and it's all happening on low volume as well too. So for me, like all markets, I have been a selling machine within this coin, because that's what I do. Markets go up, I sell. Markets, when they go back down, I'm not looking to buy again until 500. That's my highest buy order, as I just recently sold in the mid 600s. And next up, I'll be looking for a decent sized gain from here. So until this goes to the high 800s, which is where I'm looking to sell, previous high, or down to 500, I'm just gonna watch the market and really just not do anything within it, because I don't need to. My orders are in place. Everything is in order with DGB for me. Let's move on to Bitcoin. And it has continuation on grinding the 18 average of highs. That in itself is a very, very interesting situation, because this message market of a break of support, which would thus lead to a normal leg lower to 3,000, at least as this was the Fibonacci of 23.6 down, it would be 38.2 from the most largest or lowest lows rather. And it hasn't done any of this falling down, but the key word is of yet, because there's still a long ways to go to end a bearish trend. Just from the $10,000 highs, it's been consolidating very well and productive amongst the 23.6. It is still nowhere near. It can do this fast, because when we look at the hourly time frame, big moves happen, whatever, but it hasn't had a test yet of this 7130 area. And again, that's the way I look at Fibonacci. There's going to be 2 additional lines, and I'm going to put them in when needed, but there'd be one up here, one over here. You know what? Let's put them in now. So we got a high in at 99.90 and a low at 57.80. And the lower numbers will just have to marginally be, well, 71. I don't care if they're 9 points off, because it's always never an exact number anyway. So 8,100 followed by 87.77 are going to be some areas that And then, of course, the 87. So there are the four lines that represent the Fibonacci retracement amongst the last level. So 10,000 high. Staying below this line means you are super bearish. And it's gotten out of that from super bearish to just regular bearish, as it's now below this 38.2, which means I don't know what to expect on any type of market rally up towards here, but I realize that in a bear market rally, a resistance at 38.2 is most certainly something you would see. But I would be expecting a decent size leg lower in time, and the fact that it's had several days like this is making me just less optimistic that I'm going to go on a big shopping spree of altcoins because of a $3,000 Bitcoin buy order fill. Let's put it that way. I mean, the market's got a long ways to go. The neutrality range would be between 71.30 and 81.08. And the moving this, getting past this 8100 and holding above that, that would put a lot of change into the overall market sentiment. I want to take a look at this 18 average, but do so within a shorter term time frame. So for me to do such, I'm going to put the Coinbase Bitcoin market up. And this is where I manually hand drew the lines in, but for purposes of looking at it in a situation like in the single hour time frame. So as we look at it from this way, just with a lot of periods, and within such, on the way down before, bear market low, and then you come up within the 18 average situation where you have the correctionary move from the primary downtrend, which leaves the 18, and it does so for a significant move lower here. Continuous resistance on the lows. But this is an interesting situation where, although it was a fast move, it didn't take out the previous low. And that in itself is fine because of the big move that it did have. But what it didn't do in this bear market rally from this low is resist quickly anywhere up to here, even up to here for that matter, and then pull back. So it got through the 18 lows like it was the easiest thing in the world. It did resist the 18 highs with the Pierce above. Thus successfully, through a decent amount of time, finding the higher low, getting above the key point in here, establishing another level of resistance, and every single correction since then has been supporting the daily term time frame 18 average of highs. And this level of resistance here has been big for the market. So what it's doing in this stage now is it's having several periods, now the entire weekend really, and one might say because it's a weekend that's a reason why it wouldn't do much, but it is consolidating, congesting within the upper area highs. It is doing so well above this 18 average, which would be, don't know the exact numbers, but that's really not too important. Just the fact that it is holding amongst such an event that in a bear market rally, although you can have longer duration of time corrections as within the primary downtrend, you don't expect it to happen too often. So the bullish signals, as few as they were before for the short term, are picking up. But given that the price action point is still in this support area, it's still an area where the story for it resisting such a level is most certainly in play. And because of that, I really just can't go out and say, okay, this is a beautiful pattern. You can just go all in on Bitcoin now. It's just time to go. I can't do that because of the fact that it's still got a long ways to go. And as I stated before, as far as my views of going on a shopping spree, buying whatever, all the altcoins I want to dream of, if you will, and not really, but kind of really though, they do not look quite as probable as they have before. But my plan is to keep those orders in, and then in situation if this doesn't do such and I do not hit such a level, then to just continuously find measures of hedging and profit taking a portfolio. That for me is always job number one in management. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.